What is the difference between an agent and a manager? Because people ask me that all the time. I know, but I'd love to hear it from you guys. Tori, go.
Okay. Maybe not everyone will agree with this, but I like to look at it in the most general sense as if you're looking at a corporate org structure. The talent is the CEO. They have the rights to say yes and no, veto, anything. We look at their family almost as like their board, right? And then I look at the agent of really that kind of like CRO, right? Their chief revenue ops. They're trying to figure out how are we, transacting and monetizing and looking at all the different sides of business and what's the profit margin and all that fun stuff. And for talent, the profit margin really is like, what is the time versus like the cost that you're getting out of this, right? What does the deliverables look like? All that fun stuff. And then the manager's really the COO, CSO, depending on like what business, chief strategy, chief operations, chief communications, like kind of all like rolled into one. Whereas like you can't have a chief comms, a chief strategy, and a chief ops without a really good chief rev ops, right? And so it all does play together really well when it's like the right group and the right energy and the right vibe that are all honestly working towards the vision that the talent or our CEO is setting. And what their KPIs are and what they're looking for. And so that's kind of how I like to explain it on like the most simplistic like org structure route, but everybody's business is different. Everyone's relationship with their reps are different. So it's not a one size fits all, but generally speaking, that's kind of how I would structure it.
Yeah, completely agree. I think that there's also so many different versions of what a team looks like, dependent. There's no like one way that a team can be structured. Some people have agents. Some people feel like they also have a need to have managers. But like Victoria said, if the talent is the football, the manager is the quarterback, and the other players on the team are the rest of the reps. So it's the business manager, the attorney, the agents, and sort of like everyone's the quarterback is telling everyone what they need to do with the talent, and then everyone's catching it and like getting and bringing things independent on what those needs are.
That's a perfect. I even like that better than what I said. That's a perfect way to. Perfect.
Yeah, both those analogies are.
That's an analogy for my bros.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm talking hockey. You're talking football. Like, what are we doing here?